Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen. Today I wanted to talk briefly about the economy that's coming with Star Citizen Alpha 3.0, and they talked about it briefly in the most recent ATV where they talked about kiosks and commodities and that sort of stuff. So there's some stuff I wanted to go over again and elaborate upon. So the economy in 3.0, we're going to have an early version of a dynamic economy that is driven by player actions. Price, quantity and location will all have an effect on the global economy, and that can be manipulated by players in real time. Shops will be able to be run out of stock, they might have an abundance of goods, or they might desperately need items. Price Fixer and Trade Slayer, these are tools that CIG use to dynamically work out the value of commodities and items. It will look at stock, availability, needs, how long it takes to manufacture an item, how many processes are there in the manufacture, and various other factors to work out the prices of commodities and base metals, but also for ships, weapons, and eventually even capital ships will use this. Everything in the verse will basically be dynamically looked at based on supply, demand, and all that sort of jazz. There are recipes for the supply chains and manufacturing as well. Recipes in context of Star Citizen are similar, I suppose, to MMOs. It defines the type of commodities and resources that go into a manufacturing of any given item, like a laser cannon or even a ship. In Star Citizen, they aren't used directly by players, but they're used by the design team and by the Price Fixer and Trade Slayer tools to work out where goods should be sold, how much they are, how much they can be bought for, how much they're sold for, all that sort of stuff. The larger God AI works out where factories are and what they're producing, and this is based on the supply and demand needs of the areas and people doing missions, and literally bringing the commodities for trade to these outposts and stuff. Now, this is slightly out of 3.0's like spectrum now, but eventually, it will literally be quite an advanced dynamic economy where this is all taken into account, and factory nodes effectively will build items based on their supply and demand of goods, and even the workforce on the planet and how happy they are, and is there water getting to the planet, and that sort of stuff. Alpha UEC. You will earn Alpha UEC in 3.0 for various things: trading, missions, scavenging, bounty hunting, looting, and just generally selling stuff. You're going to want Alpha UEC to buy stuff in the game. United Earth Credits, or Alpha United Earth Credits in 3.0, is a temporary placeholder currency for testing. This will eventually be replaced with just bog standard basic UEC in the future. Alpha UEC, however, is just for testing, a test currency, and something that very much requires balance, and it will all be reset between patches. So any purchases that you've made with Alpha UEC or whatever will be basically deleted between patches. But what will we be buying and selling in 3.0? Commodities. So that's going to be lots of different things, including base metals and oxygen and that sort of stuff. Ship weapons and systems. We're going to literally be able to buy new weapons and components for our ships. Various first-person shooter gear, including armour, grenades, weapons, EVA flight suits, civilian clothing as well, lots of different cosmetics there. There is no word on whether we're about to buy ships and vehicles in 3.0 though. However, in the recent ATV, they did show that they had priced them as part of their database. So they have plans to allow ships to be purchasable, hopefully in 3.0, but I would expect them to be obtainable by 3.1, if not sooner. Hopefully for 3.0, there should be ships to buy. That is what I'm hoping. There are new stores as well opening their doors. Platinum Bay, Dumpers Depot is actually going to be able to use things in there and actually buy stuff, as well as shops on Grimhex and original stores around the verse too. Loss and insurance. A big driving factor in the economy will be loss. Die, and you'll lose everything that was on your body. Lose a ship, and you'll lose everything that was changed on that ship. You'll have to get a stock ship again, basically. And you can pay an insurance premium to get that back immediately, that ship, or you can wait for it to be returned over a period of time. In the future, this form of loss and insurance and that sort of stuff will actually generate missions that affect supply and demand, as ships that are lost will need to be manufactured, unless they're already in stock, and then this will cause demand for materials and waiting times and that sort of stuff. What commodities are we going to be able to buy and sell? So, iron, gold, titanium, hydrogen, oxygen. In 3.0, it will be valuable elements and essential materials needed in space or planet-side food and that sort of stuff as well. It's largely relevant though, as all the containers will look the same in 3.0 and all need to fit to this grid system. And to be honest, what you'll want to do is fly around stations, make a note of what goods they have and what they're buying and selling them at prices wise, and then work out what makes you the most money if you want to go cargo trading. Kiosks. So this is an important way that you're going to be buying and selling. In 3.0, we'll be using kiosks in-game to purchase commodities that will spawn in our cargo bays. These will only be purchasable with ships that have a cargo bay that is set up for cargo. Cargo will be stored in a grid and commodities can be stacked, though you'll also be able to park ships, so like the Nox and the Dragonfly, into an appropriate sized cargo bay, which will take up some of that cargo that you could use for other materials. You can also place loose cargo there that you could find from looting or destroying someone else's ship, or just planet side, or in wrecks, but that will not be stackable in the same way that cargo that you've bought from a kiosk will be stackable. And there are though there are going to be various commodities in 3.0, pretty much all crates will look like a crate in 3.0. The kiosk system, though, will identify what's in the crates, and you can also sell commodities at kiosks. Kiosks at different locations, moons, points of interest, and stations will have different buy and sell values, so trading around is important, and trade lanes will be created from this. You'll be selling everything that you want via a kiosk, and it looks like there's going to be small transaction fees with that as well. You'll also be able to sell individual loot crates that you've picked up and stored in your cargo bay, and I believe with all of that you will need a cargo grid. You will need literally a ship set up for cargo to be able to store and then sell those at a kiosk, or to transport it safely in the first place. Also, some missions will require you to pick up a crate and then deliver it to an admin office, and these will be very, very specific mission crates that will probably be unsellable anywhere else. When purchasing the kiosk UI, or through the kiosk UI, it will allow you to search and browse through shop's inventory, filter down to what you want. You'll be able to see stacked comparisons between items too, and you're going to be able to equip a ship item directly onto your ship at time of purchase, or you can have it delivered to the cargo hold of your ship. And assuming that it's possible that you'll be able to have it delivered to your hangar as well, so you don't have to basically take it away in your hands, and you don't have to always have it directly attached to your ship immediately. In 3.0, there will be ship systems and weapons that you can purchase, but anything that's too large to display in a shop, so you will be able to literally go around and purchase things off the shelf still with certain items, but stuff that's too large, or stuff that can't possibly be displayed because there's too much that would possibly be displayed in a shop, those are going to be done through kiosk. So most of the items really we can purchase just through kiosk, even if they do appear on the shelves, I believe. Persistence of cargo. So cargo will be persistent. Players will be able to store items on their ships, and then they will remain there the next time you log in. You and your ship will also remain where you logged out to, which is cool. We actually have persistence now. Cargo explosions and piracy, though. So piracy will very much be a thing now. When a ship is destroyed, any items that they had in their cargo bay have a chance that they will survive the explosion and then be lootable. So normally, kiosk items are not movable between ships. You'll literally buy and sell them via kiosk, but if your ship is destroyed, cargo will explode out of your cargo bay possibly and be lootable, so they'll literally be able to pick that up and take it back to their cargo bay, and then you'll need to put it in an appropriate cargo area, and then you'll be able to sell it via kiosk. And that's basically it for the economy for 3.0. We're hoping that we get ships and vehicles that we can purchase. And we're hoping that we can sell stuff straight out of our player inventories as well, rather than just being able to carry it around and just having it through cargo. But that's what we know so far. Anyway, every month we try and give away a ship. For July, it's an Ox Q. All you need to do is be subscribed to my YouTube channel and comment on any of my starters and videos during the month. Do you have any questions about cargo or about kiosks or the economy in 3.0? It is pretty simple, economy-wise, but it's the first stepping stone to a more dynamic, proper economy for such a large MMO. And do you have any questions about Alpha 3.0 in general, or Star Citizen's development in general? A special thank you to my Patreons who allow me to create the amount of content I do. If you'd like to become a Patreon, then check the links out below, as well as everything else we've talked about. I'll put links below to all the source material. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, as it really does help me, and I will see you in the verse.